So then, after 1 week away, we finally get a new chapter of the Blue Box manga series, and once again, we follow the amazing character of Hina, as she tries to fight her own emotions and suppress them. Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime's Elliot, and today, let's talk all things chapter 17 of the Blue Box manga series. A rather realistic and sweet yet wholesome chapter that focuses around Hina's character in her trying to suppress her emotions. But what follows is a series of mistakes and slip-ups as the feelings of loneliness and pressure become too overwhelming for her to handle alone. So then let's start off with Hina's character, as this character, following the events of chapter 16, has decided to focus on doing things herself and not rely on Taiki for support, as being around him is what makes her notice her feelings that she's wanting to suppress for the longest of times. However, at the core of her actions within this chapter lay kindness and respect. By this, I mean she taking Taiki's feelings into consideration and basically not interacting with him because she's afraid that Chanatsu might misinterpret their friendship between Hina and Taiki. However, this very mindset is what's causing Hina some physical, but more so emotional, pain. Now we know that Hina likes to brag and boast about being the greatest, especially when in front of other people, as they hold very high expectations for her to perform well, being that she's already shown to be highly skilled in what she does and the daughter of a famous Olympian. Now, having to try and live up to all of those expectations can cause you to have a lot of mental stress, as you're always worried about falling or failing to meet others' expectations. You're worried about letting them down. However, no matter the pressure placed upon her shoulders, she's always able to perform at her best and persevere through everything that is thrown towards her, as she knows that if the worst does ever happen, at least one person in the entire world will be there to hold her up and support her. That person, of course, being Taiki. But now, with Hina pushing herself away from him, she's making mistakes, as all she can do is think about him. Now then, I really like the symbolism with Hina falling down and her not being able to stand back up. When she says it hurts, I personally saw that myself as both physical and mental pain she's suffering from. Follow that up with her not knowing what to do about the situation at hand. She's lost and unsure, because every time something has knocked her down, Taiki has always been there to inspire her to get back up and to move forward once again. We can tell this from her inner thoughts, as when she's on the floor thinking, what do I do? What do I do? We see a ribbon falling. Now, could this be her thinking about giving up because of this one mistake? And we also see Taiki looking rather, I don't know if it's sad, upset, or just indifferent, but we do see Taiki nevertheless, and she's thinking about him. This led me to believe she's thinking of the one person she wants the most in this particular situation. Again, linking back to the idea that every time Hina's fallen, or something's, been in her way and she can't overcome it, Taiki's always inspired her to overcome and persevere. Match that up as well with the fact that when he finally appears in front of her, you see how much Hina's eyes light up with happiness and joy. So much life and energy gets emitted from her eyes when she sees Taiki asking if she can stand. That panel was absolutely breathtaking. It's like she's seeing her hero arriving in front of her. Now, I mentioned this before within my reviews, but the series has been building Hina up as this emotionally complex character, and with this chapter continuing that, she still has a lot of development to come in the future, but I'm more intrigued and invested in seeing how she progresses as a character moving forward. I'm still not at the point of saying that Hina's best girl, but at the same time, her character is boosted in stock in my opinion, and I love the character even more after reading these last few chapters that focus upon her. Plus, with the, obviously, knowledge of we're going to get more of Hina, because she has to interact with Chinatsu at some point. She hasn't done that yet since finding out this reveal of them living together. That's going to be awesome. Now then, I want to move over and talk about Taiki's character, because this is a character that did something unexpected within this chapter. First of all, he managed to recognize a difference in personality in how Hina was acting. Taiki's a little dense, so I think this is development for him in noticing that. Plus, he takes what Kyo said about how it's most likely Taiki's fault that Hina is acting differently, as Hina might be mad at Taiki. Of course, at first he didn't understand this, but from his actions and words, I had the feeling that our main protagonist was actually having some self-reflection and acted accordingly in trying to make Hina feel better by the end of the chapter. So that was really nice and sweet. Telling her not to worry about other people in this situation, because when Hina was hurt and Taiki was trying to help her, Hina was worried about Chinatsu and the way that it could affect Taiki and Chinatsu getting together in the future. The fact that Taiki just turned around and said, "Who cares about that right now?" shows that Taiki really does care about Hina as a friend, and just wants what's best for her and wants to help her, regardless of the cold demeanor that Hina's been giving off and the glares and stares and cold shoulder that she's been showing towards Taiki within this chapter. So I really like that he kind of took a bit more of a higher ground in terms of morals and still wanted to help her no matter what Hina was going through. He managed to see that she was in pain and wanted to be a good friend. So Taiki's great in that respect. As well as the fact is, he says, don't worry about other people. But he also reminds Hina that she's the one that goes around saying, "I'm the great Hina, center of the universe." Now granted, I might be giving Taiki a bit too much credit here, as he could just be saying all these things out of kindness. However, the fact still remains that these words are very inspiring / impactful to Hina, as they inspire her to get back up and allow Taiki to support her, even though she's mentally trying to force him away still. So this I really do like. Now, here are a few quotes said by a famous wise explorer that I think links to the idea of allowing other people to support you. Number 1, if you can stand up, you can get to your feet. Number 2, as long as everyone works together and does what they can, most hurdles may probably be overcome. Number 3, once you give up, it's game over. Those were just some quotes that I thought could inspire Hina that she might want to keep in mind when moving forward. Once she gives up on the idea of being with Taiki, then of course it's game over and she's lost to Chinatsu. But, of course, it does link to the fact that what Taiki said and these quotes, they're both talking about it's okay to have other people support you. Overall, I really did like this chapter. I thought it was well worth the week wait that we had, and I cannot wait to see how Chinatsu further develops within the series, as we have some more emotional development in her character overcoming what she wants or doesn't want to confront within herself. But there was a character missing from this chapter, and I'm of course referring to Chinatsu. Now, keeping Chinatsu off this chapter I thought was a really smart writing choice, as we need to have Chinatsu and Hina meeting / interacting one-on-one within the future. But at the moment, Hina is not ready to interact with Chinatsu on an emotional level at this moment in time. Hina still needs to, confront those feelings she's been trying to suppress within this chapter, and then understand them, come to terms before she can talk with her potential love rival. Anyways, I want to know what you have to say about this chapter in the comment section down below. Love to hear your thoughts and opinions, plus I do hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please hit that like button, comment your thoughts, subscribe, all of that good stuff for more content in the future. But more importantly, I hope you have a great day. Arigato, matane, goodbye.